Martian Manhunter Marvin the Martian Special Number 1. Written by Steve Orlando and Frank J. Barbiere. Pencils by Aaron Lopresti. Inks by Jerome Moore. And colors by Hi-Fi. In Middleton, Colorado, John Johns, the Martian Manhunter, gets a Martian distress message on his TV and builds a, well, for lack of better term, Stargate to bring the other Martian to him. Out steps Marvin the Martian. Marvin's on his usual, let's blow up the Earth mission, yet Johns is having none of this. Marvin goes to blow it up with his alien dynamite, but Johns takes it and chucks it away, accidentally hitting a plane. He Supermans the plane to safety, but the passengers saw him toss it, so they act like Marvel civilians, where clearly it wasn't an accident like he said. He's totally evil now. He goes to talk Marvin down, while Marvin is blowing up a military base. The military thinks Johns is working with them because he brought Marvin to Earth, so they attack him. It's really sort of becoming a thing until Marvin is about to drill to the center of the Earth. Johns can't talk sense into him, but when Marvin tries to blast him, Johns lets out this huge game-ending mind blast, which actually shatters Marvin's mind to think that he did blow up the Earth, where he's actually locked away in some prison. But there's also a backup story in more of the style of Looney Tune. This time Martian Manhunter comes to Marvin, who's totally shocked at the powers that Johns has, so he must steal them so he can destroy the Earth to better his view of Venus. His idea? Trap him with cookies because Johns is a crackhead for Chocos, the DC version of Oreos. But Johns has a plan in the most amazing way. While Marvin is readying his next plan, Johns turns into a statue of Earth with the inscription, "For Marvin with love, your neighbor's the Earth." Marvin then gets onto his rocket because he loves Earth now, woohoo! And that's the book in a nutshell. I really enjoyed both stories. The DC side has a solid redesign for Marvin the Martian, a semi-deep story about John John's love for Earth, which almost comes off as a gag in and of itself with how quickly the DC humans are quick to act like the Marvel civvies, just instantly ready to hate the hero. But the shining part of this is the feel-good Looney Tune perspective backup story. It's fun, it's Marvin the Martian being his usual self, but, and I'm about to go into a bit of a rant that's only secondary to this comic, so be warned. This is the best explanation for why I call Disney's Marvel Mouseful, while DC stays at being called DC instead of Lunacy. Lunacy, I see. Warner Brothers doesn't color DC in the same vein as current Disney dunks Marvel's head in a paint bucket to wait until the bubbles stop. It's the current Disney aesthetic drowning out the product. But in this, we see particularly why DC is DC, and Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes, whatever you want to call them, are just that. And Warner Brothers as a company has so many different avenues that it doesn't necessitate a single direction. But that is something we can argue about in the comment section and in a later video. Or earlier video, I've made several on this topic. Either way, what about this comic? Well, my verdict is going to be a bit bouncy. I want to say that it is totally a buy it, but Martian Manhunter is a hard sale for a lot of newer readers, and even Marvin the Martian isn't a name brand that anyone under the age of 21 would probably pop for. So my official statement is that this is most definitely a read it. Read it means that it is totally worth the read, and honestly, I'd say if you're aware of who these two characters are, then it is worth the buy it. But that's all for today. If you agree with me that this was worth it, or if you disagree and feel that it didn't have the earth-shattering kaboom you wanted, then leave a comment below. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and please donate to the Patreon to better the channel. But just liking and sharing us around helps even just a little. And as always, stay golden, Inklings.